We would say yes on slowing down, yes on growing a fantastic garden, yes on welcoming the plants and the animals, acknowledging the creatures as evolving in consciousness, and acknowledge that everything can work with you if you just look at it that way. Questions?
This
Yes.
is Diane.
Diane.
In the Pleiadian times...
Much louder, please.
Okay. In the Pleiadian times, you talked about the elderly having a hard time, passing on because of dementia, etc.
Because of dementia, and what else did we say?
Alzheimer's.
And what else?
Pharmaceuticals.
And what else?
Being afraid, not knowing where
Good.
they were going.
Being afraid of the body. That's the big problem all the way around. People can't die because they are afraid of the body. They don't trust, and as this gal said, they don't know where to go. And if they do know, think that they've been raised in a Protestant ethic, some Christian ethic, or Western world is usually Judeo-Christian of some sort. But any of these ethics have their destinations, all right? If you did this, you're going here. If you did this, you're going here. Now think about the chaos that people are going in today, those big Catholic Christian believers who confess all their sins to pedophile sinners. The absurdity of it. The absurdity of being quaking and going to say, how is it, bless me, Father, I have sinned, forgive me for stealing pennies. Oh, you shouldn't have sold those pennies, what were they doing? For years. This is not just this century. The priests and their nefarious activities have gone on long before. Why is it coming out now? Because it is the time, as we said, everything's coming out. You have the internet, you have media. One story opens here, it allows someone else to open. So this is creating confusion, because now no one is sure where they want to go, even if they thought they knew where they want to go. But even if they thought they knew, and even if this shaking crisis of consciousness in the church is not rocking them, they are still afraid to leave the body, and they are afraid of the body. Because you see, as the body ages, people feel they lose control over it. Well, as the body ages, it changes. And actually, if you can change your energy and your mind with it, you garnish more wisdom and more control. The body does need different kind of support and attention. But if you have good posture, and that can come from doing body work, yoga, rolfing, all these things, disciplines. If you have good sound structure, if you love yourself, if you love being in the body, accept responsibility, eat relatively well, the cells are very forgiving. You have all poisoned yourself again and again and again, and you are just fine. Do you understand? It is your worry and emotion that takes those toxins and turns them into something and manifests. But in general, it is good to eat wise, especially this summer. Eat the freshest, most organic food you can, because all that energy is in the food and the plants. So if working in this field or working with anyone that is in that area, the big changeover has to be an acceptance of the body and releasing of that fear. And it is the medical profession who has instigated that fear over and over again. And the church and everyone. The church has penalized you came from sin. Oh, that old Eve, she was a bad person, and then she was cursed, and the birthing, and all these stories are all propaganda. They have truth to them. But let's say this. There's lots of things that are true, but you can change them. Truths are for you to learn from, not for you to replicate over and over again. You follow this? The truth of your mother's apple pie may have had a cup of sugar in it. It might have been fantastic. The truth of your apple pie may be the exact same recipe, which may have a quarter cup. You follow? So things are there to be changed. And we would say to all of you that to live a good life and a comfortable life Be at peace that it will end one day. And don't be afraid of it ending. But do envision that you have wonderful years and that you are strong and clear and vital all the way to the end. And that if you want to just set it up so that someday you just graciously slip out with no mess and no fuss after lunch or something, and that's your exit plan with your best outfit on, or you're fishing down by the pond and favorite reel in hand, you can imagine a beautiful exit that has no fear, no dementia, no breakdown of the body. The people that are the young children, the ADD and the dementias, as we said in the P Times, the last P Times. And we like it when people read the P Times and ask us questions, because then we know you are interested and you are doing your homework. We like homework. We do. We like to give you homework. We like you to show us that you are doing homework. These are all symptoms of people taking on a mass event, waving a red flag at humanity, saying, we'd better look at this. The young are losing their mind. The old are losing their mind. It says those in between are next. Now, it's a frightful thing to lose your mind. If you have people to take care of you, then you are blessed. If you have a young child that needs all kinds of assistance, it's a lot of work to get that child rehabilitated and on their own through life. Even a child that's focused and clear, it's a lot of work these days to develop a functional person. So something needs to be addressed here. And of course it's the issue of all the electronics and the pharmaceuticals and the lack of quality of life. And we would say that we understand this, and so do others. And we know that in times, especially when we appeal to you and your hearts are open now, that you too understand it. And so something will occur to create a healing, to bring people back to their senses. And those who are willing to participate will. All right? But individually do your best. And if you are in a position where you can influence people, bring these ideas up. If you are working in a nursing home, bring it up and say, well, right, perhaps the idea is they don't know how to die, they're afraid to die. Yes, the nursing home will say, well, if they die, what are we going to do? You know, we make money off of them staying here every day, etc. See, everything is hooked into someone making money through medical and pharmaceuticals. So there has to be not only a huge crashing in your political structure, but in the way you view having a body and what that involves. That's going to be totally rewritten. What does it mean to have a body? What's your responsibility? And grander yet, what is your body capable of that you don't yet acknowledge? It is completely capable of self-healing with support. That support always would involve comfort, food, love, herbals. That's why herbals for the future, very important to study. There's going to be some movements that want to control all of these, but some of you will become, surprising to yourselves, open to learning from the living library. You know, your ancient ancestors learned because the plants spoke to them. So don't be surprised if one day you are cutting up a papaya and the papaya gives you a new way to cook it that day or to prepare it or something. These ideas will come through to you. And this is the living library coming alive. This is your spirit, is what your spirit came for, the next level of empowerment and knowing. And every time you raise yourself up, it makes it more difficult for those who want to control you to pull off their shenanigans. In the truest sense, you are making your own boundaries. You are learning to say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no.